Did you know? Socrates spoke about leadership styles way back in the 4th century BC. Although he did not write, his teachings were made popular by Plato and Xenophon, his disciples. Today, leadership is measured in terms of individuals turning around businesses or providing direction during crisis. Whereas in those days, leadership was about commanding armies, winning battles, living and dying with honor. We call this situational leadership. In this short module, let's see what behaviors are recommended by Socrates for demonstrating situational leadership. In one of his mentoring sessions, he shares the story of Proxenus, which is found in the writings of Xenophon. Proxenus spent lots of money to be educated under a celebrated teacher named Gorgias of Leontini. After some considerable period, he believed he could command an army, and so he joined the Greek army under the leadership of Cyrus. Proxenus preferred appearing soft, sophisticated, and gentlemanly. He loved courting popularity. He did everything he could to be liked by his soldiers, but deep inside he lacked self-confidence. He felt undeserving since he had not grown through the ranks. His sophistication can be viewed as a cover-up for his lack of confidence. Surprisingly, several thought schools promote this kind of leadership. They suggest it is best to be soft, sober, and democratic in all endeavors relating to people. They believe businesses can be managed by number crunching while lacking entrenched knowledge. But how did he perform on the job? Well, the decent soldiers liked him while the oyster ones undermined his authority because they thought he could be easily manipulated. They found him lacking firmness in decisions. His focus to appear sophisticated and desire to be liked by all outweighed his on-the-job leadership capabilities. He died early and was not remembered as one who led the Greeks to great success. This is another story of Xenophon, which he narrates of his own endeavor. Xenophon, the commander of the Greek army of 10,000 soldiers, was retreating to Kurdistan after a brief defeat by the Persians. Kurdistan is the current day's region between Iraq and Turkey. Xenophon was in a predicament to salvage the retreating army and flee to ensconce. He quickly surveyed the hilly region and figured that if they ascend the tallest summit, they had an advantage of salvaging the defeat and turning it into an attacking position, which was their best way out. Xenophon also realized that Cardusi, a local tribe that held fort of the mountains, also were in a pursuit for the summit. Xenophon and the Greek soldiers had only one choice: to act quickly and reach the summit before the Persians or the Cardusis. So he shared his plan with the 10,000 soldiers. He gave a pep talk too. He said, "Consider that it is for Greece that you are fighting your way to your children, to your wives, and that with a little hard work we can reach the summit first, which will give us the advantage of attacking the Cardusis or the Persians who come in our way." As they started, one of the soldiers, Socrates, said, "We are not on a level, Xenophon. You are riding on a horseback, while I am wearing myself out with a shield to carry." This came as a stark challenge to Xenophon's authority. As a commander, Xenophon had several options to deal with, like ignoring him, threatening him, or arrest him and punish him later, which were the norm. But Xenophon's response was radical. He jumped down from his horse, took Socrates' shield, pushed him aside, and marched with it as fast as he could. He encouraged those in front of him to get faster and those behind to catch up. It was equally heavy for Xenophon, as he had to carry his breastplate and the shield. On seeing this, the other soldiers cursed Socrates for his indignance and forced him to take back his shield and continue. Later, Xenophon remounted the shield and went back to his horse. He was ready to get back to the march as and when it was needed. Eventually, the Greeks reached the summit first and salvaged the day. Xenophon had a reputation of striding the Greeks to several wins and being a great commander. What we saw from the example of Proxenus is a typical fallacy of leaders who deviate from leadership to people pleasing. They budge to the pressures of people pleasing, forfeiting critical reasoning and decision making. To avoid this trap, it is imperative for the leaders to question their intentions every now and then and ascertain if they stem from their desire to please people or to render justice. Failing to do so can leave a dent on the ones who are looking for true guidance and leadership. From the example of Xenophon, we see that situational leadership is not always about punishment, but to give solidarity and an option to change. When the wheels aren't moving, are we willing to give a hand and show the right way it is done and with the right attitude?